Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm going to do an unboxing of a brand new wig for you, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to take a brand new wig out of a box and try it on and assess it without ruining your chances of being able to return the wig. Now, most wig retailers will allow you to try on a wig and still return it. But there are some things that you must be aware of when you do that, so that if you do return the wig, they don't reject your return. So in this video, I'm going to take a brand new wig out of the box. I've not even removed it from the box. I have not even looked at it. I have no idea what it's going to look like. But I'm going to tell you what steps I take and the advice that I've gotten from some major retailers about how to do this safely so that you can still determine whether or not you think the wig might be one that works for you. But if it's not, you can still return it. So if you want to know more about this, especially if you're brand new to the wig journey, then stick around. We'll go through this together. So I have actually had an online conversation with a wig sister who was under the impression that you cannot try on a wig and still return it, which is not exactly accurate. Although I will tell you, if you purchase a wig from someone, from a retailer, not from like a secondhand market seller, but an actual retailer, the first thing you should do before you make a purchase is you should look at their return policy and determine what they state as requirements for being able to return a wig. Now, sometimes if you purchase a wig on clearance, you're not able to return it. Some clearance wigs are not returnable, and it generally does say that on the website. So in that case, this is sort of a moot point because you can't return it anyway. But for most retailers, especially the ones listed in my trusted retailer resource blog post, which I have linked in the description of this video, they will allow you to try a wig on. But there are some precautions that you should take because you don't want to wind up in a situation where they're rejecting your return. So let's unbox this together and I will talk all about that with you. The wig on my head right now, this is Raquel Welch Go-To Style in Shaded Ice Pumpkin Spice. I do have a review of this piece on YouTube, so if you are curious about this super cute style, then I'll make sure that review is linked in the description as well so that you can go check it out. So the wig that we're going to discuss today, or that I'm going to use as my example wig, is a brand new style from John Renault called Kaylin. And it's in the color 633. This wig I've received from Name Brand Wigs as a, they sent this to me so I could do a review. So I will be doing a full review of Kaylin, but this is really all about unboxing, and it just so happens I had this wig that I've not even looked at yet. So I thought it was a perfect example for us in this video. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is that if you're not sure if you're going to be keeping the wig, I would recommend that you try it on with a wig cap. Even if you don't plan to wear a wig with a wig cap, or you never use wig caps, I would really recommend that you try it on with a wig cap. Now, sometimes wigs will come with wig caps. Not the major name brand retailers rarely include wig caps anymore. So if you don't have one of these, but you have a wig grip or something like that, it might not be a bad idea to try your wig on with one of those. But if you don't have a wig cap and they don't send you a wig cap, this is not a non-negotiable. I just think it's one more step in ensuring that your return will be accepted and that it won't be rejected because the wig either looks like it has been altered in any way, or that there are any smells on the wig that should not be there. So that is one thing. If you're going to be purchasing new wigs and trying them on, if I were you, I would just try not to be wearing any fragrance. Make sure you wash your hands. Don't try them on in an area where it might get any smells from the environment around you. Just do your best to make sure that if you send the wig back, it is exactly the way that it came. That's my number one piece of advice. Something that might not be a bad idea is to maybe even take a picture of how the wig looks in the box. How was it packaged? Again, I don't know if this is an absolutely critical component, but if you want to ensure a successful return, then I would, when you go to open it, I would just take a quick picture so that you know, was it sent to you inside out? Was it right side out? Does it have a covering on it? Just any of those things, all of that will help you to make a successful return if that's the future of the particular piece that you have. All right, so I'm going to take this one off and I'm going to throw the wig cap on. Now, I rarely return wigs. I just figure it's really hard to assess a wig that you can't shake out and mess with. But I understand in the beginning of your journey, it is a challenge and you haven't yet learned even how to work with wigs. I'm fairly confident with my ability to pluck a part line. I know sometimes wigs need to breathe and wake up and have the permatease be woken up from the cap, and you've got to shake those fibers out and all of those things. But unfortunately, you can't do them, if any of those things, if you plan to return the piece. So in the beginning, I think it's a lot harder, and you probably will find you'll have a lot more returns in the beginning than you will later as you get more confident and as you learn how to work with wigs, and even as you make better purchases because you learn what suits you and what doesn't. I think in the beginning you're just learning. You don't know. Will you like permatease? Won't you like permatease? Do you like curly styles, straight styles? What length works for you? What density works for you? All of those things are part of the journey. And to the extent that you can afford to maybe resell some wigs yourself, that will give you the flexibility to do a lot of the things that I typically tell you to do in my out of the box segments on my videos, because otherwise you're never going to fully know if a wig's going to work for you out of the box. Sometimes wigs look awesome out of the box and sometimes they really don't, and they need a lot of intervention. So we have this wig, so I'm going to pull it out of the box right now. So a lot of times they will come with these bobby pins in the box, and they'll be kind of clipped into that bobby pin to help them to not move around during shipping. So this one came inside out. Not all wigs will come inside out. So don't think that if you get a wig that's not inside out that maybe it wasn't brand new. Or alternately, if you get a wig that is inside out and you've never seen that before, don't just think that there's something wrong. Every style is a little bit different, and manufacturers will package wigs differently depending on the style. So John Renault often sends wigs right side out. I would say it's more rare to get one from them that's inside out, but it does happen. And then they often have this covering on it, so that's something that you'll want to make sure you put over the wig again if it came with one. These will sometimes work their way off of a wig in shipping. So again, don't just assume that maybe somebody already had this wig. This can just kind of slide off. It does jostle a little bit, even if it has been bobby pinned in. So you've got your little mesh netting. So now what we're going to do is we're going to gently right side out this wig. Now, I'm just going to put the wig on my head just like it is. This is not a time to be shaking a wig out, to be combing it out, or anything like that. So the first thing you're going to do is put the wig on your head. Very gently. And actually, I don't wear wig caps very much, so I don't actually even have this on correctly. You want to make sure it's back behind your hairline so that it's not showing when you put the wig on. Okay, let's do that again. So I'm going to put the wig on my head. I have a little mirror over here, so I'm going to try to see what I'm doing over here in the mirror. So just like everything else, you're putting the wig on your head, you're adjusting it so the ear tabs are in the right place, you're getting it down. It's okay to brush this a little aside from your face, and then you're going to take a look in the mirror. Now this does not look great out of the box. This wig is going to need shaking and finger combing and all of those things in order to really assess whether or not this is a good fit. A lot of times wigs will come with a zigzag part. This one's got that. Now this one is actually a basic cap. Yeah, this one's a basic cap wig, but you may find a zigzag part on basic cap wigs, on mono part wigs, on mono top wigs, and then sometimes they don't come with a zigzag. Again, these are all variations that are absolutely normal, and every style is going to be just a little bit different. So don't panic if it doesn't have the zigzag. I have seen people comment that before when they get one without one, and then they think maybe this was a return or somebody had already had that piece. It really does vary. If I were you, I would just take a picture of sort of every step of the way if you're really nervous that you might not be able to successfully make a return, so that if there is any question whatsoever, you can produce those pictures to say, hey, this is how it came out of the box. Personally, if I were super worried about that, I would just use the video option on my cell phone, and I would just video myself doing the whole thing. I don't think this should be too much of a problem, so don't panic and think, oh my gosh, I have to jump through all these hoops. I'm not saying that you have to, but I have heard stories from people, rarely, but I've heard them, that they didn't do anything to the wig and they tried to return it, and the retailer accused them of messing with the wig and they didn't want to accept the return. I don't know whether that really happens or not, but all I can tell you is all of the extra steps that you can take to really be successful if you think you're going to be returning a wig. So now, because I can't shake this one out, I can't comb this one out, I can't do really much to it at all and still be able to return it, I have to start assessing this based on what I can see. So what can I see? I can see the color. Do I like this color? If the color is completely wrong for you, then you probably know that you're going to be returning the piece. You still should assess the style and all of those things, because what if you want to get another one in a different color? You do want to know if this style has potential for you. So the next thing to assess is length. Do I like the length of this piece, or would I prefer a longer or a shorter piece? Again, length can be altered. You can't always cut a wig shorter, and the more experience you get in your wig journey, you might learn how to do some of those things and go, gosh, I love everything about it. It's just about an inch too long. I'll trim it up. That's always an option, but in the beginning, I know that's something you can't even imagine doing. So you assess the length, you assess the fit. Does this fit me comfortably? Is it too big? Is it too small? Is it too tight? Assess the coverage. Is it giving me good coverage from my bio hair here? Does it give, if it's a shorter wig like the one I just had on, does it give me good coverage in the back? Coverage is something that, again, can somewhat be managed with fill-in powders and things. Like if I don't have good coverage over here and it doesn't really match my bio hair, I could use fill-in powder to help with that. So again, it's not something that, some things you can't change at all, but there are some things you can manage. But again, in the beginning, you're just assessing whether or not it's a good style for you. So we're going to assess that. We're going to assess the style of it, the curl pattern, if it has curls, if it's straight. Do I like the style? This is hard to tell because it has a lot of box hair. This wig is going to need to be shaken out. It's going to probably need to be sprayed with water, hung upside down, because it has a fair amount of permatease. We've got some box hair going on. And box hair is just when, because it's been compacted in a box, it's really got a weird shape to it. It's sort of smashed in some parts. It's poofy in some parts. So you're doing your best to assess, but it's not going to be perfect because you really can't do a whole lot with it. But that's what I would do. I'm going to look in this mirror and you're going to watch me do my assessment. Okay, so I like the length. I like the color. Permatease. It doesn't have too much permatease for my comfort, but for someone else, there is permatease here. They might, if you're not ready for permatease yet, you might look at this and think, oh, it looks really wiggy to me, because Permatease will cause poof, and that poof is something a lot of us are not used to seeing on our heads because maybe we've had thinning hair for a really long time, and so we're used to seeing ourselves with very little hair. So when you get a wig that's got a fair amount of hair, this one's got a fair amount of hair, and it has some poof from Permatease, you may think, oh, no way, I can't do a style like this. You may someday get there, but right now, that's another thing to assess. So then the question is, do I feel like I can get rid of like the box hair areas that are making this look kind of unnatural, this wanging curl here and all of that? So in the beginning, when you're learning on this journey, getting a wig out of the box can be very challenging. I personally think wigs that are low Permatease and straight are generally easier in the beginning because they don't look quite as bad out of the box as a higher Permatease wig, as a curlier wavy wig, as a higher density wig. All of those are impacted more from living in a box than a straight lower density, little to no Permatease wig. So keep that in mind as well if you're new on this journey, that certain wigs are more challenging out of the box, and this would be one of those. So at this point, if you are not feeling confident in the wig, or there are some components of the style and the color that are not working for you, then you're just going to take the wig off gently and you're going to repackage it the way that it came as best as you can so that you can make that return. So the way that this came was they had the netting over the top of the wig, and then they turned the wig inside out, and then just place it back in the box the best that you can. If you can get those bobby pins back through the wefting, that's great. It's not 100% necessary, but gently, gently lay it back inside the box. Any packaging that came with it, stick it all right back in the box. Close it up, and then it's ready to be packaged to be sent back to the retailer. That is how you try on a wig that you aren't sure you're going to keep, and what you will do if you decide you're not going to keep it. In another video, I will show you how I mess with a wig that I've decided to keep so that I can really assess the wig. Now, I will tell you, in a lot of my videos, if I get a brand new wig, I often throw on and out of the box at the end of my video so that you can see what the wig looked like out of the box. And if it has really bad box hair, I will often manage that on video for you guys. So I don't do that in every video, but a lot of my videos have that. So if you watch my reviews, stick around till the end to see if I've included an out of the box, because I have shown in many, many videos how you handle box hair. And I actually will link a couple videos in the description that I think could be helpful for you if you want to know about the next part. Like, what would I have done with this one next? I'll include that in my review of this wig, but I have a couple of other videos that could be helpful for you. I hope this helped you. If you're brand new to wig wearing, please let me know, and please like, subscribe, comment. All of those things help my channel so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon.